So this could become a serious, genuine destination, tourist destination, because the video game industry is the biggest industry there is just about as far as entertainment, bigger than music, movies, and sports now. So why shouldn't there be a mecca, a crossroads? So she's helping us bring the whole thing in that direction. And that's one of the reasons, or many reasons, why we have her on our own trading card now. So let's hear it from Mary.
Yeah, I want to thank you all, and I particularly want to thank the gentlemen who, and their names is Jerry and all those guys for this, putting this together. This is really great. Thank you so much.
We have an award for Ryan Berger, but he's not here at this moment, so we'll wait until he comes back and we'll give it to him then. But now, let's have our special celebrities get up here. I think we're at the Life magazine people. We're at the Life magazine people. So Billy is one of those people. Mark is one of those people. Sam was one of those people. And Tim, please come up here on behalf of your cousin, Michael Buck. Michael Buck is the only person in the original, among the original 16 who's deceased, so his cousin, Tim McVeigh, is going to accept on his behalf.
Walter, how come you're honoring the 4 men in the picture, but not the 2 women?
Tracy Groy, get up here, and April Lewis, get up here. What was I thinking? These are the most important people. So they got up there on that November morning, November 7, 1982, dressed as cheerleaders, simply because they were cheerleaders. I mean, it's interesting how many people have asked me, like, so you got some people who dress up as cheerleaders. No, they were the cheerleaders. They were the cheerleaders for Ottumwa High School. So anyway, you guys get in front. Like usual, they're in front. Okay, you gonna do the splits again, like in the photo?
We did them earlier today.
Okay, so did them earlier. She actually did. She actually did. She actually did that split there for the reunion photograph. So, wow. So, a lot of the people in the photograph did want to come, but a bunch of them just simply didn't have the money to cover the expenses to come for this. So, when we do this again, with even more advanced notice, we could turn this into a full-blown reunion where maybe all 15 people do come and all 5 cheerleaders. Like, where are the other cheerleaders? Do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know where the cheerleaders are, so we can make this happen. But I'm going to get their awards out, but let's have a round of applause. So, in a funny sort of way, this is like possibly the most recognizable, which is another way of saying maybe the most famous photograph in the entire global video game industry. Because it's so easy to make it memorable and recognizable because it's so unique and distinctive. And everybody seems to recognize it now, even people who have nothing to do with video games. So it's quite a remarkable thing that it was in Ottumwa and that we're able to have these reunions. And as the time goes on, we'll have more and more reunions where even more of the people come. And let's give them the awards. So Billy, take over.
Well, I'm sorry I have to teach Walter something here, but we have the ladies first. So who's been coming to most every event that we have since we've been having these reunions? She has, and we've been twisting her arm to get the other cheerleaders here, and now she's begun that. But again, on that cold November day, we as players had no idea what was going on. We were there, we were in the street, and suddenly 5 cheerleaders showed up, and for a bunch of guys, for cheerleaders to show up in 20-degree weather was very unusual. And then immediately after the photo, naturally we would talk to them and ask them their name and be inquisitive. The second to last photo was taken, they were gone. Absolutely gone. And
We had on short skirts.
come on, skirt. Okay. I'm not saying anything. Okay, April Lewis and Tracy Gore, come on up. Okay, one at a time, different players came in, and every question was, who's this guy? What's he good at? And it was always a silly question, who's this guy? What's he good at? And we always wanted him to be good. We wanted the spirit. We never wanted him to be too good at the wrong game. So there was a guy that was really good at Battle Zone. So that was good, because there's nobody good at Battle Zone. It was really cool to watch. Then he was good at Pac-Man, and I thought, who's this guy? He's muscling in on my action. But anyway, from North Carolina, Sam Blackburn. He's a great guy, and this is his first time to Ottumwa since November of '82. Then out of California, and supposedly California had a lot of great players. So we thought. So a guy came in who was good at like most every game that was cute. You know, he was good at like Moon Patrol, and he would be good at Berserk, and he'd be good at all of those what I call logical games. And he was kind of quiet, and he played Frogger, and he played icon games that you guys would still be familiar with. And we've seen him a couple times since we've gone to California, and now, is your third trip here? Okay, his third trip here, so he's a senior. Mark Robacek. Both of these guys, I find it interesting that in their job, in their living, what they did, how they learned video games, the intuition they had in their mind is what led to their careers. Basically, they're brainiacs, and I don't want to describe what it is they do because I'd probably get it wrong. Last of all, can somebody hold the camera for him? Okay, it was really cool in 1982 because there was a local guy, and we always like to pick on the local guys, and it was a local guy. It wasn't Tim McVeigh, okay? But it was a guy by the name of Mike Buck, and he's in the picture, and he's on the far in the back right, and we were always following everybody through the years. Yeah. We were following everybody through the years as to what they were doing and what we had recently heard. And when we heard that the first one in the group, kind of like the first one of a graduating class, had passed away, it was really sad. He was a real likable guy. He was a big guy who laughed a lot, so it was hard not to like him. He was a really cool guy. And it was especially cool because he was a local guy. It was always us guys that come from the coast, big city gunners, that nobody was going to be able to match, period. And there's always exceptions to the rule. Well, he's the cousin of Tim McVeigh, and Tim's here to accept it on his behalf. So, Tim McVeigh on behalf of Michael Buck. Then, as I always say, there was one guy who came here to visit. When he visited, unlike everybody else in the picture, they all went home. There was one guy who didn't go home, who developed an obsession for what was going on. He came to the town constantly. He got involved in business. He constantly played video games. He constantly tried to push the pendulum higher and higher and higher. And the fact of the matter is, Walter Day at times had stepped back, and there was one guy that was always kicking him on the backside. Move, move, move. And that somebody's me. So, and I'm glad I did it. But that's enough talking for me. I'll turn it over to anybody who might want to say something. Some are bashful, but believe me, some of these guys like to talk.
So we are both graduates of Ottumwa High School, 1983. Yay! So April is still, she lives here in Ottumwa, and I have been in Phoenix, but I love hanging out with the guys. We've been all over the country. Me, not so much as Billy and Walter, but I really do when we meet up in Chicago or Banning, California. It's just nice to kind of relive back in 1982, and it's all of these guys are great people, and Walter, your dedication, and to keep bugging me, you know, like the next trip. Thank you so much. And then I actually did get April here, so hopefully we can get 3 more of the cheerleaders. So thank you for all coming tonight.
Yes, thank you. I just want to say thanks to Tracy and Walter and where's Jerry, who kept reminding me that, there we go, that this day was coming up. I would agree with Tracy. It's really quick how things come back and you remember all those warm feelings and all those things that happened that day. Well, not all the feelings were warm because it was freezing cold that day, but what time did we get the call saying, hey, throw on your cheerleading outfit? Yeah, and we had to be there like 6:30 in the morning, wasn't it? It was really early in the morning. They closed down Main Street, like throw on your cheerleading, uniform. We're gonna take your picture. Who would have ever dreamed, that it was gonna turn into something like this? So very thankful. Thanks for coming out. Thanks to all you guys. And yeah, I'm gonna be a permanent fixture. So thank you.
Hi everyone. Did come from California. Actually flew in yesterday, but. Walter Day is someone who I never knew when I was playing video games. It's just this name that was on the other side of the phone sometimes. And I really just feel a special affinity for him to have started something that turned into, for me, 2 movies, an IMDb listing. I never considered myself an actor. And just the whole camaraderie of meeting these 20 or so wonderful people who were part of that Life magazine photo. And it's a part of history. I never took it too seriously. But now, I take my obligation seriously enough that if Walter says, you gotta come here for this, I do. And thank you, Walt.
Like I said, what they did or what their passion was often spawned into what it is they do in life, so I guess I wanted him and Sam to describe that a little bit.
Okay, well what I do now has nothing to do with what I did for my career. I was a systems engineer turned quality manager, and now for the past 9 years, I'm a casino party dealer. Now, if that sounds like fun work, it really is. I recommend it. Thank you.
I guess I'm the boring guy. So the way I always approached video games was as a problem to be solved rather than a game to be played. So we would always find those edges in the logic where we could exploit to gain points. After that, joined the Air Force, became a computer programmer, and today I'm still developing software doing computer forensics and still thinking sideways.
Hi, I'm Tim McVeigh, not the Oklahoma City Bomber. Google it. I'm really proud to accept this on behalf of my cousin Michael Buck. I wish he was here with us. It'd be a lot more fun if he was. I don't belong up on stage with these people. This is the Sgt. Pepper's album cover is what everybody tells me. And I'm really proud that somebody in my family represented us on the picture. So I wish Michael was here. He's not. I'm really happy and honored to accept this award on his behalf. Thanks everybody for coming, and I thank these guys for coming back every year. Thank you.
There seems to be a core group of people that always support an event, or at least always try to. We have mostly contact with most of the people in the photos, so I'll put the monkey on these guys' back that for the future events that begin next year, the Hall of Fame, the celebration of Life magazine, and where esports has taken us, they need to get a little rough with our friends that we still have contact with to see to it that they're here next year. That's all. Other than that, be proud of them. They're great.
There are quite a few people we would like to honor tonight. We will honor, except that they're not here. So, do you have that? So here are some of the people from the Life magazine photo that we did do cards for, but they're not here. Mike Lepkowski is now Dr. Michael David Lord, who's the president and CEO of Washington University in Washington, D.C. Leo Daniels owns a pachinko world parlor in Wilmington, North Carolina. He wanted to come, but he's one of the people who simply wasn't financially available to come. Doug Nelson, he's a longtime rock and roll star in different bands. He's in Southern California. He wanted to come, but couldn't quite make it. Todd Walker, he got into the plumbing trade and simply has abandoned the video game world and simply didn't want to come. And Jeff Brandt, he's a system analyst for State Farm Insurance at their corporate world headquarters in Bloomington, Indiana. Eric Jenner, he's a game designer in Mountain View, California. Is that right, Mark?
Yes,
That's
indeed.
right, okay. And then Stephen R. Landon.
Stephen Landon said I like being a bad guy. Stephen Landon said he would be here. Today we called him and he said he couldn't come because his dog was sick. He blamed it on the dog.
His dog ate a whole bunch of straight pins, so they had to take it to the vet and have it operated on. And he said the expenses were so much it wouldn't allow him to come. But that sounds pretty rough, eating straight pins. He'd be coming from a suburb of Chicago. And then Joel West, bless his soul, wherever he is, he couldn't come because there's a lot of reasons why he couldn't come. And Steve Sanders is on a family outing in Salt Lake City, Utah. But we have trading cards for all of them, awards for all of them. We're going to send it to them. Let's hear it for the people. And they'll probably all be here next year.
Does anyone know what name is missing from up there? It's Ben No Show Gold. I told him I would torment him. He never shows up for anything. He always talks about it, and he doesn't show up. His name's on the plaque downtown. He says he'll be here next year, so we'll hold his feet to the fire.
Ben Gold isn't shown here, and Chris Steele, who wanted to come, who's in Southern California. Chris Steele, by the way, has something called, a company called Steele Worldwide, and he's become a major liquidator of like Chinese merchandise and factory closeout sales and discount sales and stuff like that. So he has a website that sells like when some company in China wants to sell like 30 truckloads of sofas or something like that. That's a specialty, so it's very interesting. So these people are very highly successful people, and we're so honored that they came to Ottumwa, 35 years ago, a couple days ago, and we will get them here next year, we think. Anyway, what do we do next, Todd? And here are some more people who are going to be sending their awards to them. Kristen Aptowicz in the middle. She's married to Ernest Cline. Raise your hand if you know who Ernest Cline is. Okay, there's one person. So there's a new movie about to come out soon, made by Steven Spielberg. It's called Ready Player One. Ernest Cline wrote that story, and this is his wife. And she's a noted novelist too, and she's on a trading card because she's got a world record with Twin Galaxies. Now, Sean Hawley, Victor Marlin, they are noted journalists in Great Britain. They're being honored for their contributions to the culture, the gaming culture. They're going to be sent their cards and awards. And then another new world record holder is Arda O'Kyle, who's from Canada, who's a recent new world record holder with the Twin Galaxy scoreboard. We'll be sending him his card also. Is there another page of these two?
No, that's it.
Okay, because there's further people. Russ Millars in Great Britain is also being honored, and Jay Sherman. They'll be sending the cards too. So, Chris, could you come up here? Chris Tang. Patrick O'Malley, could you come up here? Triforce, could you come up here? And Lonnie, could you come up here? So, this is not the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, but these are the trading cards that have been created for those people who are being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So let's give them their cards now and get ready to get out of the way so we can start whatever happens next year. I can't remember. I guess the Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Something else happens.
Yo, check
Okay,
out
that's
his
right.
shoes,
The player of the year
y'all.
next. So, once you guys stand right here.
That's cool. Triforce, what are you doing?
I'm going to have fun with this one. Patrick O'Malley, he operates an arcade like an old arcade from the 80s, where you walk into an arcade and there's games and you play. It's not connected to a bowling alley. It's not connected to a golf course or anything. It's an old-fashioned 80s arcade. And we all argue that it may be the very last one in the US. So he's here from Illinois, but I just choose to pick on him a little bit because number one, I'm good at it. But number two, come on, you guys talk about my suit. Look at his shoes. Look at his suit. The truth of the matter is, when you look at his shoes, I should be wearing those, but not the suit.
I can't get it, y'all. I'm sorry. People in the way.
Well, like I say,
Oh, there we go.
truly honored to receive this trading card, and this will look nicely with all the what we call wall candy at Star Wars Arcade.
Well, Patrick will be up for the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies where we'll go further in depth into the amazing accomplishments that have led to him getting this card and being put into the Hall of Fame. So who's Triforce? Oh, you're Triforce. Those are Triforce. Okay, so Triforce is now a living legend. I'm glad he's living. And Triforce, do you have anything to say? Because this is not really the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, it's just giving them their cards, so I don't want to say too much right now because that's reserved for. So, anything you want to say now, though?
Okay, what I want to talk about is the Walter Day trading card collection and how important it actually is. And I never got the chance to
Shouts
actually
out to
thank you,
King
Walter, for what you've
helping us
done,
with the cards, bro. I love you.
with the trading cards. But it's an actual blessing for Ottumwa and gamers around the world that you time capsule as many people as you possibly can. Because honestly, no one would do this other than you. And for those who don't know, Walter has a thing called the Vault, and he has 250,000 cards that he has printed with thousands of gamers, industry leaders, and other relevant information of the history of video games. And I'm glad that you've done most of this work, and I hope you continue to do this work as much as possible. So I wish you success with the Walter Day collection trading cards.
Only people in the suit can be on the stage except for Walter. It's okay. So I would echo what Triforce said. I mean, there's nobody more ingratiating to gamers than Walter, and to be able to do the things that he does. I'd ask you to support him. I mean, he doesn't, it costs money to do these things. Not just for people like me, but for everybody who's out there, and there are a lot of gamers that probably need to be recognized.
One thing that I've been very remiss in is that Lonnie doesn't need this to be said because he's very, very generous, very private. He doesn't need to have this be told to anybody, but he is the sponsor who gave us all the frames. So we are very blessed by having him pay for all the frames.
Thank you,
for this
Lonnie.
ceremony. So thank you very much. And it was not that easy to get the frames. I had to drive from here.
That's Chris Tame, you guys. Chris Tame.
Buy the rest and back to Fairfield. So it was a little bit of work to round these frames. Chris is a remarkable person. I mean, when you see his card or you see his life story, he's got so many things he's been successful at. It makes my head spin. So I'll let him tell you about it instead, or at least thank us, and we'll get to him with the Hall of Fame presentation.
Hey guys, so I'd like to talk about these cards. When I first heard about these cards, back when they were in single, maybe double digits, you had guys like Billy Mitchell that I really looked up to. Guys that were known for gaming excellence. And when I first heard about the cards, it was the first thing. When I grew up, I didn't really play sports or get into sports, but I collected baseball cards, I collected football cards. I loved reading the backs of them. And they were like heroes in a sense that I knew they were at the best that they would be at what they do. And when video game trading cards were made, it finally allowed something that I was good at to put me on that, or a chance to be on that same level. I wasn't there yet, but it gave me a chance to dream, a chance to aspire to become something like that, something that I could read the backs of the cards, or someone else could read the backs of the cards and be inspired by that and try to do something more. And that was so important to me growing up. And it means so much to me when you started making those trading cards, and maybe push a little harder, maybe try a little harder, that maybe someday I'd be able to get to be on one. And when I first heard that I'd be on one, I think the first time was like in 2015, I was like blown away. I was like, oh, I'm finally gonna get one. Did I deserve it yet? I'm not sure, but it happened in 2015, that was the first one, and apparently there were a couple of others after that I didn't even know about. I don't even have them myself, but they're kind of cool. But this one is actually the coolest one of all. I love the picture, and it has the story, and because it has just like what I've done, it makes me realize that I have worked hard and I've come far, and maybe I can inspire someone in the future to do the same in gaming. So thank you so much, Walter, for making these cards possible. And I just love what's happened here. I love the whole culture and things. And thank you all for helping celebrate this.
The images that you were seeing up here, those front sides of the cards, they were not designed by me. They were designed by, I think he's 15 years old. Does that sound like Trey? He's a 16-year-old youngster who's doing, well, this is the Billy Mitchell card right now. So there's a 16-year-old, and I guess he's in London or something, named Carwyn Akawumi Jones, who designed the cards as a gift. So it's a very nice design, and that was, of course, the Hall of Fame cards that we were just seeing. So before I finish with the Ryan Berger Award, why don't you show Todd your son's stuff if you can find it?
Yeah, if this thing works, right?
If the thing works. His son was involved in some sort of educational thing at the school or the library, at the library, where he had to do some sort of show and tell, and this is what he decided to show and tell. If it works. Aiden's video game trading card selection. So he has a display and he's there talking about it, I guess, and presenting it to people. And it's kind of neat that here's one youngster who actually recognized the historical and educational potential of the card set, actually employed it in such a way that he made a display in the library when they wanted him to do something educational. So that's very cool. So let's hear it for Todd's son. And in that vein of education and historical research, let's get Ryan Berger up here right now. Ryan Berger.
Hiding over here.
There he is. Do we have, I don't know if you even have his in.
Good job, Kane.
Okay. So, let me
Yep,
hold this up.
shout outs to King.
So
Thank
are
you,
these
bro.
distributed widely?
Shout
They're
outs.
over at that table over there. Okay, so back here there's a table that's displaying these, but Old School Gamer Magazine was just started. This is issue number 1, which is available at the table back over here, produced for free. Produced by Ryan Berger and his family, essentially, I guess. And what it does is it studies all that kind of history that pertains directly to the legacy of Twin Galaxies, Ottumwa, and all the other stuff from that golden age of arcade gaming and the earliest console gaming. So we're giving a trading card award to Ryan Berger, thanking him for doing this, and recognizing that he's really much a part of made from the same fabric as the whole Twin Galaxies story is made from. So here you are, Ryan.
This is literally the first issue, and by the way, the second issue is all going to be covering King of Kong, everything that's been happening here and all that kind of stuff. What we're doing is we're giving away the digital version forever for free, and you get the first copy of it in print here for free, and then you can subscribe if you want to. Really my gift to the industry. After seeing what everybody else has done for this industry, I wanted to do something too, so thank you.
I think we've covered all the cards now. They're all presented, and this is something that's going to probably be repeated year after year after year. I can see this becoming a nice integrated part of the what is it? Okay, of the annual, Ottumwa Old School Arcade Galaxies of Gaming Festival, and we have a lot of champions who are on previous cards who are there in the audience. So, but I guess there's too many to introduce. So, I'm now required to get off the stage because they're now going to do the Gamer of the Year award, and then we're going to go on to the Hall of Fame. So, Terry. So, thank you very much for bearing with us as we did all these wonderful presentations.
Okay, we're going to switch it up just a little bit, a little less formal. That's how we usually do things, less formal. So before we get into the actual Gamer of the Year, the actual top 3 for the Kids League and the Adult League, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what Gamer of the Year is. Gamer of the Year actually started at our very first event this year back in January. We decided to do 2 leagues, a kids league and an adult league. That would be kids on kids, adults on adults, to try to keep it fair for the most part. So as time went on, we kept doing more and more events, and so we'd have set tournaments during these events. So depending on how you place in a tournament would determine how many points you got towards Gamer of the Year. So for instance, if you took first place, you'd get 100 points towards Gamer of the Year. 90 points, 80 points, so on and so on. And so the tournaments have actually been a mix of everything. I'm talking arcade, pinball, all your classic home consoles. We even had a Game Boy tournament this year, an Atari 2600 tournament. Numerous classic arcade. I mean, just a good mix of everything. I have thrown so much stuff at all of these gamers all year long just to test them. And I've done stuff to take them outside of their comfort zone. Back in June, we had a Just Dance tournament. Some people, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Other people, they're just like, okay, you know, better than taking a 0. So before we actually get into the top 3 for each league, we need to award, we've done 6 tournaments between Friday and Saturday morning. We had 6 more tournaments to kind of cap it off. So we want to announce those winners real quick for the last 6 tournaments, and then we'll get into our actual top 3. Now we'll start with the kids. So we'll start with the Kids League, starting with the first one. San Francisco Rush 2049. See a driver game right there. So 3rd place goes to Caleb Bertlow. Second place, Gabe Selwood. First place, Scotty Kramer. Star Wars Pinball. Real quick story about that. That was a brand new game in the box. What, 3 weeks ago? It got delivered to the arcade in the box. Tom Rhodes bought it from Gary Stern direct at the Pinball Expo. How cool is that? So, thank you, Tom, for bringing that wonderful piece here. 3rd place, River Ross. Not here. 2nd place, Lawson Bennett. First place, Scotty Kramer.
Scotty dominating the competition. You might need to recruit him for EM.
Pac-Man Championship DX Edition on the Xbox 360. 3rd place, Scotty Kramer.
Bro, you might as well just stay on the
2nd place, Caleb Bertlow. First place, Isabella Hoffman. Centipede Arcade. 3rd place, Isabella Hoffman. Second place, Brandon Bertlow. In first place, Caleb Bertlow.
Good job, kids.
Guitar Hero. Again, just a good mash, a good mix-up of things. So 3rd place, Isabella Hoffman.
Golf claps, golf claps.
2nd place, Brandon Bertlow. First place, Scotty Kramer. Gunstringer for the Xbox 360. 3rd place, Drake Bartlett. Second place, Kayla Bertlow. First place, Isabella Hoffman. Okay, so it'll be the same tournaments, but this time it's for the adult league.
I got
So,
here late.
Centipede, third place,
So
Jay
I
Woodward.
couldn't do Just Dance if they had it on Thursday or Friday, you guys. Just so you know. But I took second in a Madden
Matthew
tournament
Woodward,
yesterday,
second
a GameStop Madden tournament that was here. And you'll see it on Triforce's vlog.
First place, Wyatt Barwick. Guitar Hero. Third place, Kelly Applegate. Not here? Nick Davis took second, he's not here. Kelton Schiffer, first place.
Look at this guy's double vlog. Live stream.
Star Wars Pinball, Nick Davis, third place, he's not here. Kelton Schiffer, second place. First place, Jay Woodward. San Francisco Rush, Tim Landis, third place. Second place, Kevin Kramer. Sean Everett, first place. Sean's not here. What's next? Pac-Man Championship DX Edition, third place, Matthew Woodard. Second place, Preston Dixon. First place, Tom Schumacher. Billy Mitchell. Gunstringer, third place, Tim Landis. Second place, Wyatt Barwick. First place, Kelton Schiffer. Okay, so now we're going to get back to a little more formal here. So we're going to go into our top three for the Kids League and the Adult League. So we're just going to go right to third place here. Yeah, we'll do the Adult League first. So Bill Hoffman, open the envelope. Yeah, and once your name is called, please come up and accept your award.
So we really don't know yet. We're going to be as surprised as you.
He's lying, I know. You don't know, but I know. Kevin Archer. Third place, Adult League.
Those are nice. Those are some nice plaques, you guys. Like crystal with a hint of blue. Let this guy get his bottom out of the way. Let's see if I can see those. Look at that.
Believe it or not, he still took third place and didn't play in any tournaments the last two events. Unreal. Kevin, do you have anything to say about Game of the Year, favorite moments, anything like that? The floor is yours.
Just want to thanks for this, and it's been a great year and had a lot of fun. And what these guys are doing is something awesome. I mean, it's something we enjoyed a long time ago. They're still carrying on. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Second place. Get the right one now. Come on. Where's it at? Where's it at? There you go. You got it. Second place. Adult League. It goes to Edward Bertlow, which is, he's not here. So, Natira, would you like to accept on behalf of Ed? Now, first place, I already told you I already know who it is. He doesn't, but I know. Our first place winner, I mean, right from the get-go, right out the door, I mean, he was unstoppable. Right out the gate, I mean, he just took a huge commanding lead. And no matter how hard people tried to catch him, they couldn't catch him. So he had such a tremendous lead, like he could do bad in some tournaments, and it was okay because he was still just unstoppable and untouchable. So, Bill, go ahead.
Wyatt Barwick.
First place. So Wyatt's going to speak on behalf of what it was like to be a part of Gamer of the Year, favorite memories, maybe favorite tournaments. The floor is yours.
Gamer of the Year was a really nice experience. A lot of good tournaments were happening. Like Bad Cats Pinball was one of my favorites. It's like I didn't even place in it, but it showed me some experience of why I should like pinball more, because I really didn't appreciate pinball as much as I did then. And just the experience I've had, I've met a lot of people through this. It's been a nice experience overall. I'd like to thank the committee for just hosting it, and thank the people who supported me through this. That's pretty much all I have to say.
So real quick before he goes, I will say, I did say earlier we had a Just Dance tournament. This guy was all over it. He says, "Oh, Just Dance, yeah, I'll win it," and he did. He won it. It was really awesome. I mean, Wyatt's one of those guys, I mean, he's very knowledgeable, and he's only 14, believe it or not. He's a big kid for 15. Happy birthday to the Gamer of the Year, Adult League. Forgot to help that.
Happy birthday!
15 years old, I'm sorry. So, I mean, he's just been awesome. I mean, his skill, like I said, I mean, even when he didn't place, it was still okay. He still held his head up high and just kept moving forward. He doesn't have anything else, so one more time for Wyatt. 2017 Adult Gamer of the Year for Ottumwa Old School Pinball and Arcade.
Hold on. Use your shoulder.
So moving into the Kids League. Wow, the Kids League. So the Kids League this year, it was a constant neck and neck battle all year long, all the way to the very end. First, second, third just kept changing. They do, and then the fourth, fourth and fifth. I mean, it was just all over. You didn't know who was going to win. I mean, it was crazy how it all played out. I mean, nuts. So I think you have more to elaborate on that.
Well, like Terry said, we'll get to the awards here in a second. We said when we announced Adult Gamer of the Year that one came out and stayed ahead. The kids tournament, we were not so fortunate. Like Terry said, we had some that were within 10 points, 20 points. In fact, I still don't know. It was very tight today, but I want to say each and every child that participated in the Gamer of the Year tournament worked hard, and they put their heart into it. They're good, responsible kids, and even when one would lose a game and one would win, they were constantly cheering each other on. They were on each other's side. You all know that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. They were constantly together. I think Terry and I got more gray hairs out of it than anybody else. But yeah, I just want you to know, no matter what these hold, and like I said, I don't know, they all worked extremely hard, and I'm proud of each and every one of them.
So before we start with third, I do want to say too that with the kids league, I mean, we did tell them, you know, hey, it's okay to game, but responsibility comes first. We did teach responsible gaming this year. Responsibility comes first. Your homework, physical fitness, learning, do good in school, do what your mom and dad tell you, you know, all that before gaming. So without further ado, who is our third place kids league?
Thank you, Kat.
Come on, Bill, it's just an envelope. Brandon Bertlow.
Game responsible.
So, Gamer of the Year, how was it? Do you have any favorite memories, any favorite games?
Cruising World.
Cruising World is your favorite game, but I don't think we've done Cruising World as a tournament. Do you have any favorite tournaments that we've done?
Centipede.
Centipede was your favorite? Awesome. You have anything else to say to the people? No? Okay. Brandon. Second place. Come on, it's an envelope.
Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry.
Caleb Bertlow. Caleb. Hurry, go get him.
Hold on, you guys, I gotta plug in real quick.
I told him to stay around. Kids.
He's probably off playing those video games.
Probably. You hear him yelling all the way here.
Them kids.
I apologize, everybody.
Them kids took off. They in the arcade playing.
There he comes. There he comes. Second place winner, Gamer of the Year. All right, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. So, do you have any favorite memories from Gamer of the Year? Any favorite tournaments? Anything that you want to tell all these people out here? Turn around and face these people. They all want to look at you.
Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero? Was there anything else that you liked? Any memories from Gamer of the Year?
Carnival.
We didn't do Carnival. That's just Carnival is his favorite game, and I cannot begin to tell you how many times this kid has beat it. He'll sit there and like double gun it all night. And the first time he done it was actually at Doc Mac's place at Callopin Ghost. Anything else?
Shameless plug.
I'll take that as a no. So, congratulations, Caleb, second place. Here we go. First place Kids League, 2017. Isabella Hoffman.
Yo, this girl, I watched her play Guitar Hero. The San Francisco racing
What about
game.
you?
This girl is
Any
good,
favorite
y'all.
memories, favorite tournaments?
So look out for her when she
Anything you want to
becomes
tell the fine people out here? You
a
want to talk?
teenager.
Okay, here you go.
This girl's really good.
My favorite game was Gunslinger.
Gunslinger, that was a tournament. What? You just done that today, right? The Gunslinger? Oh, yesterday. Okay. Anything else? Any other favorite memories, favorite games?
Yep, that's
Any
true.
advice to the people out there?
Just try your best.
Just try your best. I can dig it. So give it up for Isabella Hoffman, 2017 Ottumwa Old School Pinball and Arcade Kids League Gamer of the Year. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and take a 10-15 minute intermission so you can stretch, use the restroom. If you smoke, have a cigarette. And then we'll come back in here and we will get going again. The biggest reason why you're here, the International Video Game Hall of Fame Class of 2016. He's got something to say.
On the Atari platform 2600. Put your hand up. Paul. He was playing Berserk since 8:30 in the morning. I love delivering news. Crash and burn.
Oh no.
But look at him closely. The game froze up. He says it's not his fault. Go look at the score. The score froze at 666.
Oh!
So stay away from that guy.
So the time now is 7:40, so we'll try to get back in here by 8, and we'll get going with the Hall of Fame portion of tonight's ceremony. Thank you.
Okay, yo, this is the man in the mask.